Welcome to our in bulk newsletter, and this is the video of my reading of one of our vlogs. So it's a blog that's on our newsletter, and it is based around the idea that love is not a feeling, it is in fact a practice. So as we move past in bulk and into February, our attention will inevitably turn towards love. Valentine's Day will soon fill our screens and shop windows with hearts, roses, and invitations to buy something, perhaps to prove to someone how much we care. Some of us enjoy the ritual, and others may notice the quiet pressure to consume more, to perform, and to display affection in a very particular way. But it does invite a deeper question. What are we really celebrating when we say we're celebrating love? In everyday language, we use the word love to describe just about everything, from our partners and friends to our favorite food or football team. It's just one word, and it is stretched to cover an enormous range of meaning. English, it is rather limited in this regard. But we can turn to other languages. So Arabic is said to have 99 words for love. And I'm reliably informed that Sanskrit, one of the most ancient human languages, is believed to have over 260. That's a little bit much for me to contemplate, but I do often find that the Greek words, which distinguish so clearly between different kinds of love, are very, very helpful. Each word has its own character, its own responsibility, and expression. I'm sure you know many of these Greek words, perhaps eros, which is romantic, passionate love, philia, which is friendship, trust, and mutual respect, storge, the love between children and parents, ludus, which is playful love, playful affection, lightness, philautia, healthy self-love and self-regard, and erotopreia, hope I pronounced that correctly, the flirtation and attraction stage of love, and agape, selfless, unconditional love, often considered to be the highest form of love. So, which love are we celebrating when we turn our attention to Valentine's Day? Well, Saint Valentine would be very clear about which type of love I believe that he thought was the most important. But when we look at this, we can see how narrowly we tend to define love and how much we overlook. So in Indigo Brave, we took up our own version of Valentine's Day many, many years ago. Indigo Brave is 30 later this year. So yeah, probably actually about 30 years ago, we started celebrating what we called at the time Queen's Day, which was a day for us to celebrate our female friends. And later we found that other people had started doing this, and in America they were calling it Galentine's Day. For us, immortalized in the incredible Leslie Knope in the wonderful TV series Parks and Recreation, of course. So many, many years ago, we wanted to honour the female friendships because we recognised that whilst they weren't something that we made a big deal of on Valentine's Day, they quite literally made our lives and our leadership that we could step into possible. I still have a card on my wall, which I received decades ago, and it still makes me smile. It says, "Between me and insanity lie my friends." So one of the places that I believe we get most lost in is that the idea of love is a feeling. Those feelings of, oh, the rush, the chemistry, the excitement. They're wonderful, and they're physical and emotional, but they're not, for me, the root of what love really is. They're in fact hormonally driven inside the body. We can feel that physical and emotional, perhaps even psychic connection to our children or family members and really feel how much we absolutely adore them. But those feelings can change dramatically when people, especially perhaps in our family, do not behave in the way we want them to or we expect them to. But do we stop loving them because those feelings aren't there? Well, these feelings by definition are transient. They're hormones. And when the feelings are gone, what are we left with? So real love, in my experience, is something else entirely. It's about practicing the choice of love. I've been married now for 23 years and have two kidults, so I feel I've learned something about this. And I repeatedly am heard to say, love is a choice. Love is a state of being, something we can step into again and again, particularly when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or unseen. Love is a way of relating, not just reacting. One of my favorite quotes that I have used so much was this. I will just read it for you. Someday, after mastering the winds, the waves, the tides, and gravity, we shall harness the energies of love. And then, for a second time in the history of the world, humanity will have discovered fire. Wow, how good is that? Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. So when we understand love in this way, we see it as the powerful force that it can be. In our work at Indigo Brave, we understand love as a frequency, as a state, something that we can choose whilst other things are tumultuously going on around us. It can be practical and effective to choose this state, and it can provide us with sustainable success, clarity, and we believe it's a foundation of leadership. Are we ready to talk about love in leadership yet? Perhaps we will in a newsletter later this year. So this type of love is agape. It's a conscious practice. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to be thinking about. So as you move through this transition, this magical transition from the winter through Imbolc into the stirrings of spring, how about finding some time to reflect? Which forms of love are present and well nourished in your life? Which are we quietly missing? Perhaps we can add in some of those. And what would it look like in your life to choose love deliberately as your chosen state of being in the way that you work, lead, and relate? If this sounds like something you'd like to bring into your life or have more of, please do feel free to join our Firelight Coaching Circle. It's completely free. You are very welcome, and there's lots of resources which explore ideas just like this one. Thank you for listening. Have a beautiful, quiet, and nourishing Imbolc.